Alright, we are on the draw here in match 3 of this league with what is keepable enough. I think this is a fine hand. It's probably slightly better on the play because it is fairly proactive, and Mana Leak is naturally better on the play than on the draw, but most of our cards are better on the play than on the draw. We're going to keep. The opponent kept as well. We're looking at turn 1 Tarmogoyf. If we could. Oh, how great life would be. Turn 1 Serum Visions, turn 2 Tarmogoyf, possibly turn 3 Tarmogoyf. Hierarch. Off of an overgrown tomb that was found by a blood-stained mire. Well, we're playing against a black-green deck, and it's pretty likely our opponent is also playing white or blue, but they might be playing Hierarch just for Exalted. I'm going to assume Obzon, because I have seen some Obzon mid-range lists that play Hierarch, but more specifically, I'm expecting a company-style deck. You can make the argument that you should not crack this fetch until using the Mishra's Bauble. Do we get a Steam Vents here? No, that seems silly. Unless we find a Bolt. But I'd rather have the Mishra's Bauble for the Serum Visions because we're going to try to draw a bunch of cards. And I want my Scries to be better with that. We probably just get the Breeding Pool. We'll pay Shock. We found the Steam Vents. Pretty safe to bottom both of these. And we're going to cast both Baubles, but we won't necessarily crack them both right away. I could see keeping the Serum Visions on top, so that turn 2 Goyf, turn 3 Visions plus Goyf, or Visions plus Mana Leak. But I think I'd rather just dig for something better. I also don't want Mandrills because we have 2 Goyfs and a Snapcaster Mage against a Hierarch deck, which means we're not expecting a lot of removal. This could be an Obzon mid-range deck, but I'm expecting, like I said, more of a company deck. The potential of Obzon mid-range and Thoughtseize is why I didn't crack any Baubles right away. That way we draw after they get their round of discard. This does make me wish I had the Mandrills on top, but it's not that likely that Overgrown Tomb into Hierarch means Obzon midrange. They took a Goyf, which makes quite a bit of sense. Second discard spell, absolutely. We're probably cracking both of these Baubles to get as close to a threat as we can. Green for a Glistener Elf, black-green Infect, possibly Sultai Infect. This is going to be fun. Take a look at what they're going to draw. It's a Phyrexian Crusader. We're going to want to counter that, but they know about the Mana Leak. That's going to be troublesome. I think we're going to give up the Bauble look just to get a card deeper. If one of the top 2 cards is Delver, we might get punished for that. But alas. Well, we're drawing a Lightning Bolt. That's not the worst. We get to draw 3 cards. That's a lot. The opponent's low on cards. That's good. Bolt. And second Bauble gets us Chart. Okay. And draw for turn. What do we got? Second Bolt. Fantastic. We're going to pay Shock. And I am going to double check Phyrexian Crusader's text. I can't spell. Phyrexian Crusader. I'm pretty sure it has pro-red. Pro-red, pro-white. Fantastic. That's not good for us. Black, black. Well, there's a decent chance they're not going to cast it into Mana Leak, so we're going to pass. We might have to bolt a Glistener Elf, but I'm not going to go for it yet. Although, can't say I'm excited to take 2 Infect a turn. I'm definitely not excited to take 2 Infect a turn. Then again, if the opponent attacks with Glistener Elf and decides not to cast the Phyrexian Crusader, we're going to try to take out the Glistener Elf on the end step. What do we got? You want to do it? Nope. Cool. Let's see how this goes. Pop that window open. You got the spell? Protection? Blossoming Defense, maybe? Vines of Vastwood. Very nice, very nice. Basically hexproof. We're going to untap. Land. Bauble. Cast that. Not going to do anything yet. Unfortunately, we're going to be sitting on our hands for a little bit. Is it worth it to crack this Bauble? No. Discard. Then again, if they had the discard, they probably used it there, but they might top deck the discard. And the chances that we top deck a 1 CMC blue instant that we care to cast, mostly because we're drawing the card on their turn, which means it has to be an instant, and it also has to be better than Leak and Bolt, which means it's probably not going to involve using that Steam Vents. Yep, take 2. That's fine. Not a lot we can do, so we're going to take it. We shall graciously take our lumps. Now that flies. That might be worse for us than Phyrexian Crusader. Then again, they're going to have pump spells. Do I want to counter this and then bolt something? Let's see what we're going to draw. That'll definitely inform the decision. It's a Thought Scour. Wow. We actually got punished. Unless we decide we want to mana leak this. If we leak this, untap, bolt that, then they get to Crusader. That's probably worse. Yeah, that's worse. Okay. So we let that resolve. We have Snapcaster Mage. So we can Snap Bolt eventually, which means we probably do just hold on to the mana leak for Crusader. We're going to Bolt probably the Flyer. That one went through. That's good. We're going to draw Thought Scour and Forest. Nice. That is fantastic. Go to the opponent. Absolutely. I would love to pass the turn to you. Third land was a big deal because Snapcaster Mage is online. I don't know if we can afford to take this hit. But I also don't know if we can afford to not take this hit. Because if we go for the Snapcaster Mage here, Crusader is very live. So we're going to take 6 Infect now in total. This is really fun. I love playing against Infect. Hierarch, that's going to have to resolve. We're not going to fight them on the mana front. Alright, let's go for the Snapcaster Mage. Ideally, I would want to block the Glistener Elf with our Snapcaster Mage to try to get them that way. But we can't really go for that, since if we play the Snapcaster Mage during combat, we no longer have Mana Leak available. And that means Crusader gets to resolve. So we're just going to hope that the one card we don't know about is not a protection spell. It wasn't. Oh yeah. Vapor Snag. Crusader does not have protection from blue. I'd say it's high time we got frisky. Yeah, that's fine. I was just considering the race if we attack and they attack with Hierarch, because it's 2 damage on either side, but this is just fine. Not going to go for the Chart, of course, here, although it would be fantastic. Gonna hold on to the Mana Leak that they know about, and sooner or later we're gonna cast this Thought Scour, probably on their end step. One Hierarch comes in, we're gonna take 2. Not gonna Vapor Snag yet, think I'd rather take this. We have a lot of life. Not a lot of Infect left to go, but a lot of life. As much as the opponent, actually. Now they're going to start jamming into... technically we should Thought Scour first. Just in case something better comes along. Milled over 2 lands, let's counter that. We also drew a land, though. Whoops. For a second, I forgot how to play Magic. Draw. Second Snapcaster Mage. Not worried about another Phyrexian Crusader. Play land. Now, if we go for the chart, of course, Snap Leak is down, which is really quite unfortunate, but we will have Vapor Snag up. We're going in. Let's draw some cards, folks. Okay. Vapor Snag means I don't mind them resolving one of these because on the end step we bounce it back and then we hold up Snap Leak. Now, we have milled Island. That's it. No lands in exile. Let's get rid of that window. That means we have one island, forest is gone, one steam vents, one stomping ground. I don't really want to fetch shock the stomping ground out right away. So let's do this. And draw 2 cards. They were both lands. Well, party's over. I mean, we kind of gassed up because now we have all the mana we could possibly want against Infect. So there's that. Totally fine, kind of. I guess. If you're into having a lot of lands, I mean, if we had some more spells, this would be cool. Do I want to Snap Leak that? I think I'd rather Snap Bolt that. Well, we can't do either yet. The real question is, are we going to Vapor Snag something? This is going to end up being a threat fairly soon because it has 2 Exalted triggers helping it out. I'd rather get a red... Well, I mean, it's a red source either way, but I'll take 3rd blue before 3rd green. Do I want a Vapor Snag here? Maybe. Nah. I'll be a little more patient. What do we got? Disrupting Shoal. That could be good. Flooded Strand can get our island. Foothills can get the Stomping Ground. I believe those are the last fetchables. 2 Steam Vents, Breeding Pool, Forest... Stomping Ground, Island, Island in the bin. 7 sounds about right. We have 17 lands, 10 fetches. Play the Flooded Strand. What do I want to do? I think we attack with the Snapcaster Mage, because it's not doing a lot on defense. Having a lot of lands makes this better. That's something. Think we want to pass the turn here. We're going to end up taking 3 off of this in combat, and then we're going to start fighting it. Pendelhaven, that is going to end up being a problem. If they respond, yep, they responded with the Pendelhaven. Okay. Okay. They have 2 cards in hand, so if we try to bolt this, and then try to, if they have a response, something to buff it, and then we go for the Vapor Snag and they have Hexproof, we're probably just dead. But if we let this happen, we're probably just dead. Sorry, if we let this happen, we are just dead. So we're going to go for the Snap Bolt first. That way we threaten to actually deal with the problem. Lightning Bolt. Our opponent's actually at 9. We did a decent job of clocking them, although it's turn 8. So I guess we didn't do a decent job clocking them. Cast the bolt. Do you have it? Probably. I'm expecting at least 1. There's 1. Vapor Snag that. Do you have the 2nd? In which case we are just dead and there was nothing we could do about it. Although we could have Vapor Snagged it on their turn, but that's less fun. A lot of stuff is going to happen, and not a lot is actually going to happen. They're going to play a dude. Oh, they did have the Crusader. Well, it doesn't have Pro Blue. That's something. Disrupting Shoal, not what we wanted to see. Okay, I don't think we're going to attack. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, our attacks are very bad. If we attack, they block and nothing bad happens. If they attack, it exalts into a 4/4, and with First Strike, we're not able to take it out. Actually, even as a 2/2, we can't gang up our Snapcaster Mages on it, which means we're going to pass the turn. The Thoughtseize and Inquisition of Kozilek early in this game really did a number on us. If we had a Tarmogoyf in play, They would be dead. They're at 8 life. This would have been easy mode with one of those threats resolved. We're gonna slowly chump block. Not that it's gonna do much for us, but that means we're not dead yet. That's gonna get Disrupting Shoaled. Hard cast. Blue, blue, green, blue. X is 2, 2. Fantastic. Get rid of that just because we can. There's an argument that we've lost this game and we should not show them the Disrupting Shoal, but if we top deck a Tarmogoyf, we're at least somewhat in it. I'm going to do some fetching here, because the life is super unlikely to matter. So I'm just going to not draw the lands. No fetchables left. On tap, best card. Almost. We're not going to play that, because like I said, no fetchables. Past the turn, Snapcaster Mage is not going to do anything good. Phyrexian Crusader probably doesn't attack, so that Inkmoth can get the Exalted bonus. They animate Inkmoth, Pendelhaven it, Hierarch, double Exalt. That is a 4/5 coming at us with Infect and Flying while we're at 6 Infect, and we're dead. The only decision I can really see changing for that game was not Vapor snagging the Stinger right away. I don't know if that was right or not. We ended up trading 1-for-1 with them, I believe. No, we bounced this into their hand after. Then again, we couldn't snap bolt it anyways. I didn't want to answer it, or I didn't want to try to answer it, because I think I was still playing around these. I think I was holding up Snap Leak for the potential second Crusader. But then we ended up having to go all in on stopping this. Then again, I think that was their turn, so I think we just ran out of stuff by the time the second Crusader came around. Anyways, let's hit up the sideboard. I don't have a plan for this. However, we're not going to be that offensive, so these charts might end up coming out, excuse me. I could see cutting a Snapcaster Mage. Perilous Voyage, probably not going to be very good here. A Mandrills or 2. Nux looks bad. Do I want Kozilek's Return? It's an instant. That helps. Dismember is going to be great. I don't normally play Blood Moon against blue-green, in fact. I could see maybe boarding in some against this Infect deck, though. They're a little hungrier on mana, especially because they can't cast Crusader without 2 basic swamps under a Blood Moon, and I don't think they play that. Flash Freeze isn't going to do much. Rejection, likewise. Ancient Grudge should be decent. EE, it's a sweeper. Mountain should help. Revelry, don't really want the Huntmasters, they're going to be slow. Nux is about the same. We're cutting Mandrills, we're not boarding in Nux. Although Mandrills is technically a little better than Nux, because Crusader has pro-red but not pro-green. So we have 8 cards here we're considering. Anything else I want to cut? Thought Scours, I want to be pretty lean. Spell Snare's good. Not really anything else I want to cut. Our Shoal for 2s are pretty bad. Shoal for 1 is still good. Shoal for 1's probably a lot more important in this matchup. I do want Shoal in general, so I don't really want to cut any of those. Maybe we're just not meant to have Blood Moons. Maybe it's a Kozilek's Return. I brought in Pyroclasm, right? I missed Pyroclasm. Alright, I am a failure. We're going to have to make some speedy cuts. 1 Blood Moon, 1 Kozilek's Return, 1 more card has to go. Not Shoal, maybe Shoal. Countering 1 CMC spell seems good. Let's take these out to start. We'll take out 1 Shoal. Submit that, see how it goes. I don't know if it's any good. I mean, it has to be at least somewhat decent. This hand, however, is not at least somewhat decent. We're gonna mull. That's significantly better. Probably good enough. Visions. Am I willing to wait for that? Probably not. I am willing to use Bauble Scry, though. That's exciting. Hopefully we're going to end up scrying a land. We're not going to crack the bauble yet. Because if they have a Thoughtseize, I don't want them to have better choice. Less options for the opponent is a good thing. Alright. Before that happens, let's take a look at what we're going to draw. It's a Steam Vents. That's great. We're not going to fetch. Now, do we want to try to mana screw them? Probably not. Think I'd rather hold up Mana Leak. Pay shock. Worst case scenario, we dismember something and Thought Scour. Okay, that's not quite the worst case scenario because that actually sounds fairly appealing, but that's what happens if we don't Mana Leak. Maybe they play another Hierarch and they get in for 2 with the Hierarch. Plague Stinger. Insect Horror. Does that resolve? That probably resolves. We'll take one. They missed the attack. That's unfortunate. Do I want to worry about Blood Moon mana? Blood Moon is really good against them right now. However, that means getting a forest, which isn't exactly ideal, but it's not bad. Scour us. What do we got? Mana Leak. Alright. We might end up playing the long haul. The long con, that's the phrase. Got there. Maybe not in the match, but we got there at least 4 hour... Is that even slang? I don't think that counts as slang. Wooded Foothills. Blood Moon looks a lot worse. Might of Old Krosa. +4/+4, huh? That's pretty big. That's pretty big. Do I want to fight them? I might try to Mana Leak that. We can't. They can pay for it. At least in that case, we only take 6 instead of potentially a lot more. Is that worth Mana Leaking? That seems kind of bad. Going for the Dismember seems actually worse, though. So let's take a look at what they're going to draw. What is it? It's a Phyrexian Crusader. Okay! Well, at least we can force them to crack this. Or incentivize them to crack it. I think we're going to go for the Mana Leak. If we go for the Dismember, and they have another, say, Might of Old Krosa, we're dead. If we go for the Mana Leak, we're at least not dead. If they have 2 Might of Old Krosas, we're dead, but not a lot we can do in that case. If we let this resolve, we might also just be dead. Or we might not be. It's about equally bad. I'm going to let it happen. We're going to take 6. Means End Step Dismember is not available. 6 Infect. That's a beating. Pretty sure we're going for the main phase Dismember. Yeah. We might have been played just now. Visions and land. Okay. Multiple spells. That's good. Means we can Dismember this and have Mana Leak up? That sounds excellent. The opponent's going to need Hexproof or a lot of pump. Turns out they didn't have it. Now, are they going to fetch away that Crusader? Nope. They're drawing Crusader. That's bad. Then again, we have 2 Mana Leaks, so it's not the end of the world. It's actually debatably good because they're taking damage and tapping quite a bit out. Red, probably another Steam Vents. I actually might get the Mountain because our life total is getting a little low. How important is the second blue source? Pretty important. We'll go to 10. Next turn, we're going to play Mandrill's Hold Up Mana Leak. 2 Infect coming across. We might not end up playing Mandrills. Might want to try to hold out for that Revelry on the Nexus. Bolt? Bolt would be great. Bolt? Please? Not Bolt. Okay. That's actually fine. That means we can play the Mandrills. Shock. Now, do I want Leak plus Revelry? I really do. They animate this. That costs them 1 mana. Let's say they have a land. So they have essentially just not this available. They swing. We Revelry. They pump or protect. Can we mana leak anything relevant? They play a land and they animate this. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana up. Wow. That means if they have a Vines of the Vastwood or Blossoming Defense, we can't get them with Revelry plus Leak. That's bad. That is very bad. Should I go for the Visions instead of the Mandrills? But if we do that and we don't find something good, then any protection spell gets us. I don't think they actually have any higher than 1 CMC hexproof though, so having Mana Leak available doesn't matter because this gets through all the non-hexproof protection spells, and this only deals with the 1 CMC ones, which are the ones that already deal with this. Find a Bolt. Found a Bolt. Do I want Scour? Do I want EE? EE's pretty good. So Scour. We have a lot of mana. Bottom that. That's fine. We don't need that much in the graveyard. So we're going to pass to the opponent, go for the Revelry, go for the Bolt if necessary. Bolt will be our backup plan. Now, unfortunately, the opponent's got 4 cards in hand. Bolt gets got by anything. Any pump spell makes Bolt irrelevant. Alright, let's do it. What do we got? Think we're going to start on Bolt, since anything makes it irrelevant, and if they go for a hexproof one, we might be able to Revelry, if they only have the 1 hexproof one. So we might get them to mess up there. There's the Blossoming Defense. We could go for the Mana Leak. But then if they have another well, okay. If we Mana Leak this Blossoming Defense and they have any pump spell, they save this from Bolt and we die. So we have to go for the Revelry. As much as I don't really want to. Is it good? Or do they just have enough? This is the part where we find out. Do you have it? Do you? Are you in the tank? Are you considering Disrupting Shoal? Because I'm tapped out. I'm also tapped out of water, which is a little unfortunate. Then again, I could just go get more, but that requires leaving this, and I'm pretty excited. I don't know about you all at home. Or at work. I don't know how Lex rules are there. Oh, do they have it? They have it! Good show. Good show. That'll do. GG's opponent. We are 0-3 in this league. We're going to go to 16 Infect. That's a lot. Well, we're not going to get our next league free, but at least we get to play 2 more matches of Magic, and that was a lot of fun. Lot more decisions there to unpack. I might have to rewatch this. That was just chock full of stuff happening. Anyways, hopefully you all enjoyed that video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.